All right, you guys, conference finals are set. The Thunder will host the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks are going to get to host the Indiana Pacers. Yes, the Knicks at MSG are hosting the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. A Final Four that I should say was pretty much unexpected. The only team that people maybe thought and were favored to be there is the Thunder. And holy crap, did we get a game 7 that didn't live up to the hype in OKC. Game 7, Nuggets taking on the Thunder in what was a highly anticipated game. Even myself, I gave the Nuggets a chance. Aaron Gordon comes in with a grade 2 tear, partial tear of his hamstring. So obviously that kind of, lowered expectations. But the Nuggets came in as the experienced team. Jokic and Murray, when healthy, are 4-2 in game 7s. Meanwhile, the OKC Thunder are back in the semifinals, a chance to get over the hump that they were in last year. They brought in Alex Caruso in the offseason, and this might have been the most important signing last summer that went under the radar because Alex Caruso, I know SGA got his, and he was wonderful, and he was great in this game, but Alex Caruso was the MVP of this Game 7 for the Thunder. What he was doing defensively is incredible. His read, his feel for the game, and it's the little things. It's the fact that when someone on the Nuggets has their back turned and there's only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, he knows mentally that they don't have time to make a pass or swing it to the other side of the court. So he attacked and he doubled, even though it wasn't a called double team. He just knows his IQ is on another level. And the Thunder have a lot of guys like that. Lou Dort didn't have a great series. He did save the Thunder in game 4. I believe it was game 4, game 5. It was game 5 with some threes. But ultimately, those defenders, those are winning plays. And when people overlook those guys that make those tremendous plays, it's just something that makes me laugh, because if you know the game of basketball, you know that it's won at this level within the margins. And those are the margins. Those are the little adjustments, little tweaks, little plays that make the big difference and end up being a shot clock violation as opposed to a turnaround. And hey, he got lucky, but he made a basket. And I'd rather have a shot clock violation where the shot doesn't even count than some of these guys who are super talented making some crazy shots in the league. So Alex Caruso, the MVP of this game. I know, again, I definitely understand SGA is the man. No doubt about it. He calmed the ship for the OKC Thunder. You knew that SGA just has that demeanor to him. He's not too high. He's not too low. And he definitely came through today. He put up some good numbers. What did he finish with? He finished with 35 points. 35 points on 12 for 19 shooting. And he just was that calming presence for the Thunder to carry them offensively. But this game was won with effort and a defensive mentality that shut down the Nuggets, who, again, I love the Nuggets, and Nikola Jokic, I still believe he's the best player in the NBA, but he couldn't do it alone. He didn't get any help. Aaron Gordon, so much props to him. This is the type of stuff that makes fans fall in love with the NBA again and makes fans and the NBA look good. Like, we're tired of guys doing load management and sitting out. These guys are making all this money to the common fan. And when you see these guys putting in the effort through a torn hamstring or partially torn hamstring, a grade 2 sprain, that is essentially, what makes you appreciate it and say, all right, these guys are earning their money, and you root for guys like that. So Aaron Gordon, I do feel bad. I feel bad for this Nuggets team because, Michael Porter Jr. was banged up too. He was not great today either. Jamal Murray didn't help Jokic. Jokic finished with 29 and 7. Damn near a triple-double, but there was nothing he could do. And the key to this game, in my opinion, was the physicality that the OKC Thunder brought. People, and even myself, sometimes it looks like they are fouling the crap out of the Nuggets. And the truth of the matter is they probably were fouling the Nuggets, but the refs weren't calling it. So if the refs aren't calling it and they are allowing for a physical basketball game, that also allows the Nuggets to play a physical brand of basketball. The difference is they didn't. They were playing zone defense as opposed to man-to-man. So if you rewatch the game, if you see highlights, look at how much space is between the defender and the guy with the ball for the Thunder. And now, if you look at the other way around, when the Nuggets have the ball, these OKC defenders are all up in their grill. And that was the difference, that the Thunder defense just shut down the Nuggets, gave them no room to breathe. Sometimes they even had a hard time bringing the ball up the court. But ultimately, no matter who it was, they were all over them on defense, harassing them all over them. You can call it ticky-tack foul, but they weren't. And if the refs are allowing for a physical game, hey, it's on the Nuggets to match that. And really, just with the style of defense they were playing, they couldn't match that. And ultimately, you know, they just didn't have enough bodies. I mean, you have Westbrook coming off the bench. As soon as he came in, he had 2 turnovers right off the bat. I love Russell Westbrook, but he just is on full go all the time. And it's what makes him great, because he's all effort, all hustle all the time. But he also sometimes just is too erratic. He leaves his feet to make a pass. There were twice I could definitely remember where he left his feet to throw a pass inside to Jokic. And, you know, it was too far away from Jokic, because when he jumped in the air, the defense shifted. And at that point, he had to throw it away from the defense. It was too far, and it's a turnover. So he ultimately finished with, where's the turnovers? He finished with 4 turnovers, and he was a minus 34. So yeah, I mean, you know, Russ played only almost 22 minutes and had 4 turnovers. So, you know, tough way, you know, for Russ and this Nuggets team to go out, but you got to give credit where credit is due, and the OKC Thunder showed up. And this is why they've been the best team in the league. And this is why they're going to be favored going up against the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves, because they can play a style of defense where they're all up on you. They're not going to give you space. And it's up to you to bring that intensity on the other side. And it's up to you to find a way to move the ball and have the ball move quicker than the Thunder can move their feet on defense, and essentially take it to them. And if the refs are letting you play like that, which they have been in these playoffs, and I'm not, you know, calling out the refs. I like it. Physical basketball. It's the playoffs. It's time. Like, let these guys play and play through some contact. And that's how it's been called. And the Nuggets, just their style wasn't matching the way the Thunder were playing. And, you know, it's just sad, because Jokic is incredible. And, you know, you could argue that, you know, he should have at least a second championship by now, but he needs help. And ultimately, you know, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, and Russell Westbrook as your 3 main guys coming off the bench, it's just not going to cut it. And it's not going to cut it when on the other side you have Cason Wallace coming off the bench, Alex Caruso coming off the bench, Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench, even the other Jay Will coming off the bench, who only played 7 minutes and garbage time for the Thunder. So again, the Thunder are the deepest team in the league. It was them and the Cavs, but the difference is that these guys get into you in a way that they can depend on themselves, and that's just the difference. So ultimately, it sets up an incredible matchup with the Wolves and the Thunder. It's a tough series to predict, and we'll see how that one plays out. In the East, obviously, we got the Pacers and the Knicks. I'll try to preview both of those series here as we approach the beginning of those into this week. But what a Game 7. Great season by Jokic. By definition of most valuable player, he is my MVP. I think if you take him away from this Nuggets team, I think this Nuggets team doesn't make the playoffs. I think they maybe hover around 30 wins. I mean, if Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon are going to be your number 1 and number 2 options in the West, I don't think they would even make the playoffs. So Jokic is everything for that franchise. So they need to get him some help this offseason. The year they won the championship, they had guys like KCP, Bruce Brown, even Jeff Green, I think, was on that team as well. So they had guys that could come in and make a difference. And right now they just do not have that. Strawther is, you know, he saved them in Game 6, but that's the only game in this whole playoffs that he actually played really, really well. Peyton Watson is, you know, up and down, and Westbrook is also not really reliable. Like, he's good to come in when you need a boost of energy, but if you're counting on him to be your 6th man at this stage in his career, is kind of risky. So the better team, I think, advanced, but we're sure hoping for a better Game 7. But we'll see how this goes moving forward. And we have a great Final Four. I'm so excited for these playoffs. This has been one of the best NBA playoffs that I could remember. Really, we only had the Cleveland-Miami series that was a dud, and you could even make the case for the Orlando-Boston, but there were some competitive games there. The Thunder obviously sweeping the Grizzlies. But even that one, the Grizzlies had control in game 3, and the Thunder made that big comeback. So there's been good games, and these series have lived up to the hype. So I think more to come from it. These matchups are pretty tight, so these should be great series. And then whoever even makes the finals, it should be a great final. So I'm excited. So I'll try to preview those matchups as we go on. But ultimately, a great Game 7 by the OKC Thunder. They showed up. They fought the nerves. SGA in his post-game presser admitted that he was nervous, and I like that he did because, you were nervous and you still came through. You still played well. You still, kept your emotions in check, not too high, not too low. Could have, started panicking early when the Nuggets went up almost 10 points in the first quarter, but you got your team together. And I will say one quick mistake that I thought the Nuggets coach made was at the start of that second quarter, he had Jokic and Murray both on the bench. And that's kind of when everything really, really turned even more. And that's when the Thunder took the lead. And even by then, when he brought Jokic and Murray back, they were just kind of playing catch up. They kept, the Thunder were up 5. Then the Nuggets would score, bring it down to 3. It would go up to 5, back to 3, back to 5. Ultimately, the Thunder were too much. They got stops. They, took control. They were up 14 at halftime. And at that point, you really felt like the Nuggets didn't really have a chance anymore. But get Jokic some help. That guy's the best player in the NBA. It's incredible what he does. So excited about the playoffs. Sad that the season's coming to an end, but what a great game. Wasn't a great ultimately score matchup. It wasn't a close game, but it was a great Game 7 as far as the Thunder showing up and, getting over that hurdle. And now they got a new hurdle. Is Ant and the Wolves, who are rolling. This should be a great series. Can't wait. All right, guys. Catch you next time.